Hello, this presentation is regarding a educational project that has been started in Gujranwala, Pakistan. I would like to give you a little bit of a background information that why it is important that such educational projects should be supported and initiated not only in one city or one um, province, but they should be at the grassroots level of every city and town. Looking at some of the statistics of Pakistan, if you look at it, in the population of 180 million, there are 78 million population which is under the age of 18 if you look at the first line. And there are about 24 million people or children under the age of 5. Now, these are the statistics of UNICEF from 2009. Obviously, the population is growing, and these numbers are growing faster than what one can assume at this point. Look at some of the statistics in 1970 to 1990, our population growth was 3.1. They reflect it now that now the population growth has gone down to 2.5. But keep in mind, 3.1% of the population that we had in 1970 was far less than the 2.5% of the population of the total number of population that what we have now is far more than what we can speculate. With this population growth, if we look at the number of students that are in the system are about 78 million. If you have schools for each one of the student, you need many schools. For example, for a capacity of 1,000 students in a school, which is a tremendous number in a school, you will require 78,000 schools in the country, and we are not even close to it. Go and look at the main parameters why education is important and who is the most important beneficiary of our future projects should be is the woman or the girl who is growing in a very poor families, and then they don't have the opportunity to learn. I went into one of the schools and I saw this poster. I took a picture of it and I thought I will post it in this presentation. Um, yes, we read it all the time. We know this all wholeheartedly, but do we really believe in it? And if we do, then I think it makes a lot of sense. When I went into this school, which is in Gujranwala, on Gill Road, I went into the classrooms, and all these classrooms. The history of this school is that there was a government school in the area. About 5 to 6 years ago, the roofs collapsed in that school, and the girls were sitting under the trees or in some shaded area of this building, even believe me, even under the broken walls of those rooms, and they were trying to assemble to get their education. They barely had any books. One of the philanthropic organization in the region and a very, I would say, a very nice person went up and said, I have a building, I will give this to you. Bring these girls and teach them here. And this person, I was in contact with him and we worked out some kind of a arrangement, and the school was moved into this building. This is a multi-story building. This person had it for his own need, but he saw since his children have grown up, so he didn't have any need for them, so he started building it. with some resources and was able to complete it. But look at these girls. Look at the desire in their eyes. Look at just the this kills me when I look at my 10-year-old and these 10-year-old. I could see the eagerness and the sadness in their eyes, and I don't know if it could be just my thought, but that's how I feel it. I don't see any smile. I don't see any desire to show any of those achievements in their eyes as we would expect in our own children's eyes. So as we move forward, I took some more pictures. If you look at them, these girls are sitting on the floor and they were very enthusiastic trying to do their homework, and you will not see any teacher in the classrooms because teachers were either in their staff room or busy doing other administrative work. But look at these girls sitting on the floor, or hot or cold, whatever it may be. Some of the floors did not even had a carpeting in it, and some of them which had it were, I would say, not very clean. So with that in mind, I saw that this is a school from first grade through 8th. Most of these girls are from a very poor family in the area. The parents are either some very hardworking um, blue-collar jobs, have daily wagers and all those, and they will come in, try to get the education. Government do provide them with the teacher's salary and everything, but I think the education is barely to what we would expect that these children should get. They come out of their houses to get education. I think this is job half done. They need to be educated, which is totally on knowledge and learning, and if they don't get it, I think the whole effort is wasted. As I said, these students only go to the school and up to 8th grade. Most of these girls will discontinue studying after 8th, go home, and stay there until they get married and moved on in their lives. I think what this project that I am proposing at this point was to bring these girls into 9th and 10th grade. So I sat down with the gentleman last year when I went to their project into their school in Gujranwala, and I asked them what will it take to start some kind of a good educational 9th and 10th grade for the same girls who would like to continue. So with that in mind, they had put some kind of a project together, and with that in mind, we thought that we will talk. I would like to show that to you. They would like to propose the name of the school as Shaheen School System. They are proposing that there should be 9th grade and the 10th grade, and starting in March. And I told them that we need to bring these girls from the floor on the table and the chairs, because that's where you bring in the dignity, that's where you bring in the empowerment to these girls. So the proposal that they have put together, that if we go with these tables, they cost about 8,000 rupees per table. I think that there is some negotiation in it, but I think that's something need to be accounted for. They were hoping that if they could start 9th and the 10th at the same time. I told them that we can start, if we have the budget to do both, we should. If not, then at least start with 9th grade. So at this point, the cost could be minimum to at least start it, but we would like to hire some good teachers. And the number that you see here, it's about 45,000 rupees for 2 teachers. And there should be an additional 1 person who can help and support them in cleaning and making the environment run. So the total amount of 54,000 is for the whole year for 2 teachers, and I believe there is 1 person helping them in case one teacher is out or if she's not available. Now, I had proposed that we will put a projector in the classroom, and I will show you the classroom that we outfitted for this particular classroom. Also, it's in the same building, and we will also provide them with the UPS because the electricity is very limited, and certain amount of laptops. My vision was to provide them 10 laptops, and I will address it a little bit further why we need the laptops, what kind of an education is being intended to be provided to these students. So in mind, this is the room which has been outfitted to be provided to these students. If you look at that, this is a fairly large room, and currently it's being used for in the evening or first thing in the morning that the students come in and they read Quran and all here. But I think they can, and there are not many of them coming in at this point, so they said that they can make this room to be available for the students. And this is the entrance of this particular school. Because of the security reasons, they are extremely careful how the students come in and stay. So once you walk in through this door here, this is where you enter, and then the stairs go up to the classroom which I showed earlier to you. So I think it has the potential to house up to 50 to even 100 students in it, but I think we're going to start with 25 at this point, and if the need is really high, we'll go with 50. So estimating at both, I think let's take one step at a time and see where we can go. So what kind of education will be provided in the schools? As I had mentioned, we will have some laptops sitting on the side. So the intention is that all the books for 9th and 10th grade, whether it's an English medium instruction or the Urdu medium instruction, will be scanned in. So now they will be scanned in into a certain learning management system, and the students will be able to go in and will be able to do most of the reading and most of the writing of the assignment through that. So there will not be any cost of books. I have done some research and found out that the government of Pakistan do not have any objection on these books to be scanned. So what you see here is, for example, if a teacher has taught the student what is an equilateral triangle, and this is specifically a topic that I've seen in 10th grade mathematics that I wanted to bring to your attention. So imagine the students come to the classroom, they're being taught math, and they're taught about equilateral triangle. They will be able to, after the lecture is finished, they will be able to go into their computers and they will be able to read it or see it on the computer if they did not understand the concept. Now, one of the things that these teachers which will be hired for this program will be doing, they will be working on these slides and they will be creating these small little snippets of videos like I'm creating them right now for you to look at it, see, to explain this, what is an equilateral triangle. So for example, in this particular case, if I want to create some kind of a snippet for video, I will say this is an example of an equilateral triangle. If you look at it, a triangle has 3 sides and 3 angles. The sum of the angle of a triangle is 180. So if all these angles are equal, which is one of the speculation in an equilateral triangle, then each angle will be 60 degrees. Why? Because if they are equal and they're divided by 3, it will give a total of 60. So these kind of 180. So these kind of lectures will be created as we move forward in the first year. So now this is an example how these lectures will be created by the teachers for their students and put into the system where these laptops will be accessed to use. So this gives you some understanding why we are trying to bring this to the paradigm where if the student did not understand in the classroom, she will be able to go back on it, and she will be guided and directed to go back and try to understand at her own. This is a vision that we will even take it further, and we will try to buy these tablets. These are very inexpensively provided through a grant in Pakistan through a Chinese firm, and they go for about $50 per student. And these are completely a complete computer system where our learning management system will house these. So instead of a student to carry a laptop, they'll be able to take this tablet and will be able to work on them as their instructions are being provided right through it. But that's a step forward. Right now we are just talking about what these technology will have an impact on their instruction. Higher level, I'll show you a little bit further. One of the things, for example, if they're teaching a quadratic equation, and this is one of the scanned pages from one of the books that I have had access to here in US. This is for their first year mathematics, but this is just for the sake of the example. Now this is exact how they see it in their book, and the instructor can go in and he can basically do all the instruction and teach what is a polynomial and what is a binomial, what is x raised to the power mean, and it can be literally recorded and it could be put in to be accessed by the student. Look further, you will see that this is another very important question that always is being expected in the first year exam. So students can basically read it, see it, watch it as many times as they want, the systems. But these are the systems which, this is just as an example I'm portraying to it. One of that will give you some idea further. So for example, if this is the question which is at the back of the book, this is a question that the teacher will solve it here. This is, if you look at the numbers, they are certainly different from the one which is at the end of the book, but they're very close to it. So if students saw the teacher working on this example and see it as many times as she wants to, she's asked to do this example. Obviously, she have a better chance to solve it if she can see his teacher or her teacher how she has solved it for her. So I think that is the pretext, that is the whole impact that I would like to bring to this particular project that I'm doing. We are looking at about $10,000 towards this project, but this is the whole year's budget. Our initial cost will require us to set up these rooms. There's no cost for the building, there's no cost for any of the electricity or any of those. These are being taken over by the local people who are trying to put this project together. But they do want us to provide the functionality of this, where the students can sit, where we can provide this holistic virtual environment to them, and that's what my job to do it to them. I hope you understood what I'm trying to present it to you. If you have any question, I could be reached on my phone 603-661-7498, and please feel free to give me a call or any suggestion that you can make about this project. I appreciate your time and help.